If you thought only rain and snow can fall out of the sky, you're mistaken. Our history is full of strange and downright frightening objects that have crash-landed on Earth from the skies above. Experts have been able to identify some of these things, but for a lot of them, they still can't provide a reasonable explanation. In today's video, we'll tell you all about some of the most mysterious things that fell from the sky, so make sure to watch till the end. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Mega meteorite. Meteorites come from outer space and everybody wants to get a close look at them, but only the very lucky people get a chance to witness them up close. Large-sized meteorites are pretty rare, so imagine the excitement of the person who discovered this massive meteorite in Namibia. A farmer was ploughing his field back in 1920 when he found a huge chunk of metal. It turned out to be one of the largest meteors ever discovered. It was large, tabular and squared at 9 feet on each side. The meteor was around 3 feet thick. Because of these dimensions, experts believe it reached Earth at a comparatively slower speed. It was named Hober and is believed to have landed on Earth by some at 80,000 years ago. It weighs more than 66 tons and is composed mostly of iron and nickel. The meteorite has become a national monument in Namibia and is open for tourists to visit and admire. The birds. Birds crashing to the ground isn't a rare event, but the way the birds in this footage are behaving is something never seen before. All the birds decided to just plunge through the chimney of this house, maybe because they were all following one particular leader. The family was definitely shocked to find their house filled with birds when they got back. There were more than 800 birds inside and they were present in every single corner of the house. They eventually fell asleep in the house, after which the homeowners packed them into cardboard boxes and took them outside. No one knows why the birds just rushed inside the house, but it sure is creepy. Near miss. Skydiving is not a sport for the light-hearted. It takes a lot of courage to jump out of a plane relying on just 2 parachutes. But for this man, it was probably worth taking the risk as he managed to film an actual live meteorite falling down while he was skydiving. It whizzed right past him, and this led many people to speculate that it could be a fake. Although experts think if it is a fake, it's an incredibly excellent one. The chances of witnessing a meteorite in the sky is 1 in 5 billion, so this man is probably extremely lucky he actually got a chance to see one flying up close. The Norwegian skydiver was definitely surprised and pretty thankful that the rock didn't hit him. Indestructible camera. This GoPro camera was fastened to the jet, but unfortunately it somehow came loose and fell down. The camera was still recording as it came crashing to the ground. There aren't many cameras out there that can survive falling from a height of 30,000 feet in the air, so GoPro definitely deserved some appreciation for creating such a sturdy device. The footage is like a chaotic swirl as the camera tumbles down and lands in a pig enclosure on a farmer's property. When it finally lands, an intrigued pig can be seen looking down at it as it tries to figure out what this strange object is. Fukang parasite. Scientists discovered a Fukang parasite meteorite deep in the Gobi Desert. This meteorite is considered among some of the most mesmerizing and extraordinary pieces of space rock. It looked like an extraordinary meteorite at first, but when it was cut apart by experts, they found a honeycomb pattern in the rock. The intricate mosaic appearance of bubbling gold drips in the meteorite were mind-blowing. This special composition is seen in just 1% of meteorites. That's why this unique Fukang parasite is worth more than $2 million. It's been broken down into pieces, but experts still consider it one of the most important meteorites discovered in contemporary history. Russian shock. Meteors can cause a lot of damage if they crash into populated places. They're even capable of ending life. That's what some scientists think wiped out the dinosaurs. This very dramatic meteor descent was filmed in Russia. It blasted into the atmosphere and is being regarded as the greatest object to enter our atmosphere in the past 100 years. It was seen crossing the Russian airspace in 2013. The massive 40-ton meteorite would have caused a lot of damage if it hadn't detonated in the atmosphere instead of striking land directly. But even the mid-air explosion was quite disastrous, as researchers have revealed that it detonated with the same force of that of a nuclear weapon. The strong sound waves before the explosion set off car alarms, blew out windows and blinded witnesses who were watching the meteorite. UK meteorite. This mind-boggling ball of fire was witnessed whizzing across the sky by several Gloucester residents and was also recorded by security cameras. This happened in February 2021 during the lockdown. It was later found that it was one of the most spectacular objects that fell to Earth from outer space. The asteroid disintegrated into a few fragments that got dispersed over gardens. The largest piece landed in the driveway of this family. When scientists analyzed the samples they had collected, they were shocked. They believed the asteroid was at least 4.6 billion years old. It's called the Winchco meteorite, and it supports the scientific hypothesis that water is actually transported to planets by asteroid strikes. The chemical composition of this asteroid is similar to that of water found on Earth. This asteroid could actually unravel a lot about the beginnings of our planet and life on it, scientists believe. Fireball display. Most of the meteorites entering Earth's atmosphere go unnoticed and unobserved. But this bizarre meteorite was recorded by many British people on their phones and doorbell cameras as it flew across the UK sky. The impact of this meteorite was immense, and many people thought it was a fireworks show at first. It raced through the sky and erupted into a massive fireball before crashing. Thanks to the many cameras that filmed it, the meteorite was seen from all perspectives. The locals also reported hearing an explosion as the meteorite came crashing down, but it completely disintegrated before touching ground. Space gloop. A weird one-of-a-kind rainstorm hit Oakville back in 1994. The storm raised a lot of questions among the townsfolk and caused them inconvenience too. The town was actually struck by blobs of jelly instead of raindrops. This happened around 6 times. The authorities gave no plausible explanation for these strange jelly rains. The locals were exposed to this substance and suffered from flu-like symptoms for several weeks. Some even reported experiencing more serious illnesses. Many dogs and cats immediately died after coming into contact with these jelly blobs. After conducting tests, it was found that the gelatinous material induced white blood cells, but the jelly itself lacked nuclei. The US military also admitted to bombing the Pacific Ocean at the time. But were the two events related? Guess we'll never know for sure. Hieroglyph mystery. This puzzling object fell out of the sky and was discovered in 1908, and an article by a researcher was published about it in a Canadian newspaper. A teenager was working in the garden one day when a meteorite crash-landed there. But it wasn't just any meteorite. The stone had some weird extraterrestrial hieroglyphs etched into it. They were too precise to be a chance creation and were therefore assumed to be a Rosetta Stone from an alien culture trying to contact humanity. It's now universally acknowledged that there isn't alien writing in the rock from outer space, but no one knows how these patterns appeared and how they are so precise or what they mean. Scientists have been trying to decode what's written on the rock for decades now, but haven't had any luck. The Gibson meteorite. This strange yet incredibly important meteor cluster crash-landed on Earth, supposedly billions of years ago. These are called the Gibson meteorites as they contain a unique material termed Gibson that doesn't exist anywhere on Earth. Around 150 chunks, slabs and pieces of these meteorites have been discovered from around the world. A Namibian farmer found the largest known piece of Gibson meteorite while he was excavating his field. This piece is now displayed for public viewing. Many experts think this extraordinary asteroid struck the Earth a long time ago and significantly contributed to the formation of its core. Some scientists also think it caused a mass extinction of all life forms on Earth at the time it struck. Unseen world. Of all the things falling to Earth, rain is probably the most common and uneventful, but did you know that even raindrops contain a whole world inside them? There are several remarkable organisms and microbes that are adapted to survive separately from the rest of the world. Microscopic visualization of raindrops has unraveled a strange yet captivating world of tiny living creatures. The discovery is proof that even the most mundane parts of nature could be hiding an entire world full of miraculous life forms that coexist with us, but the human eye is unable to see. Stroke of luck. If you heard a loud crash from your roof, the smart thing would be to evacuate the house. But this Indonesian man heard a crashing sound and decided to investigate. He was pleasantly surprised to find an asteroid that had crashed through his roof. The man, who is a coffin maker, found it in his yard while it was still warm. He was baffled when he found out how much the asteroid was worth. It was a very unique type of meteor, and at first the man wanted to keep it. It's believed to have been older than 4.5 billion years, so it was worth more than the coffin maker would earn in 30 years. So he sold it to a private investor for $1.8 million. Sheep paddock scare. These Australian farmers were astonished when they found this bizarre burnt item that somehow landed in their field. No one saw it land, but it undoubtedly fell from the sky. At first glance, everyone thought it was some kind of extraterrestrial obelisk. It soon caught the eye of the internet crowd. They thought it could be a space technology artifact or maybe a tool made by aliens. But later it was revealed that it wasn't some freaky alien souvenir. Instead, it was found to be a part of a SpaceX satellite. The whole world was shocked by the crash landing of this object that had been launched into space just 20 months prior to the crash. Before moving to number 1 on this list, take a look at this. Most of the time, things falling from the sky are either space debris or meteorite. But this frightening black object that crash-landed from outer space has left scientists baffled. The object is still a mystery and scientists have not been able to find anything about it. Is it actually an alien saucer? Tell us what you think in the comments. Flying reptiles. The last thing anyone expects to see outside is an iguana falling from the sky. But as the weather turned colder, the weather prediction warned the Florida residents to watch out for raining iguanas. It wasn't because a cyclone may have picked up a few iguanas. In fact, the cold-blooded reptiles have a hard time adjusting to the extreme cold. Therefore, locals were warned to be on the lookout as they might fall from the trees onto roads and cars. The iguanas that fall from above may seem dead, but it's temporary. They reanimate and behave like normal if they are put in a secure area with adequate heat. Lizard rains. Just another one of Florida's quirks. That was all about the crazy things that fell from the sky and shocked everyone. Tell us in the comments which one you found most intriguing. We'll be back soon with more amazing stories. Until then, make sure you've subscribed to our channel and turn on the notifications.